Good afternoon, everyone. If you can please have a seat, we're about to start. Mauricio, are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it's 3 o'clock. Call the meeting to order.
Commissioner Viscara,
Here.
Commissioner Stuyvesant, Commissioner Joseph,
Here.
Vice Mayor Lama,
Here.
Mayor Svechin.
Here.
All members present, ma'am.
Great. Thank you. Go ahead, please.
The first item on the agenda is, okay, I think we're gonna move this to the end of the meeting because I don't think they're here yet. 2B is a photo contest winners for the 2025 calendar.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Commission. Each year, the City of Sunny Isles Beach holds a photo contest, asking residents and visitors to submit their best photos showcasing the beauty of Sunny Isles Beach. This year, 17 photos by 17 different photographers were selected and are featured in our 2025 desktop calendar. While not all of the submissions we receive can be featured in our calendar, many you will see throughout the upcoming year on our website, publications, and social media. Thanks, Pablo. I would also like to recognize Elvira Gattina, our city's graphic designer, who did a wonderful job designing this year's calendar, Vanessa Vieira, who puts in a lot of work managing this contest, and Francesca Constantini for contributing editorially. As I call each winner's name, please come up to the front for your award and stay here so we can all take a photo. Our cover photo is by Kaglar Guzel. Kaglar is a resident of Sunny Isles Beach, an amateur photographer. He loves taking photos of nature, people in natural moments, and finds inspiration in photographing our city. Our introduction page is by Peter Goldenberg. Peter has called Sunny Isles Beach home since 2009. His children have grown up here, attended school, and enjoyed many of our city events. He is honored to have his photo selected, a reflection of his deep connection to our community.
He's not here right now.
Not here. I'm not sure how many of them are here. January is by Claudia Moreno Diaz. Originally from Colombia, Claudia has called Florida home for the last 30 years. Her passion for photography began at a young age, and while she pursued a law profession, her love for capturing moments through the lens remained. She especially enjoys photographing the ocean, and Sunny Isles Beach has become her favorite spot. February is by John Cohen. Born and raised in Montreal, Canada, John has been passionate about photography since he was young. Over his career, he's had the unique privilege of capturing a wide variety of subjects, including celebrities, athletes, and politicians.
Towards us, we can see them better.
March is Enzo Severino. Enzo is an American-Brazilian college student. His photo captures the magic of Sunny Isles Beach waters and shows why the Sunshine State is a photographer's paradise. He is honored to have his work selected and lucky to have the endless support of his uncle Gennaro during his time in Florida. April is by Beatrix Singer. Beatrix is a mother of two, educator, holistic empowerment coach, author, and photographer.
Leah, one moment. If your name is called, please come up.
Thank you. Her childhood dream came true when she moved to Sunny Isles Beach, a modern city with a beautiful skyline. There are people here. May is Noam Tal. Noam is a photographer from Miami with over 25 years of experience. His work has been featured in magazines, local news channels, and now our calendar. His success is a testament to his passion for photography and his ability to capture the essence of moments through his lens. June is by Giovanna Vaglio Bianco. I doubt she's here because she is from a small city in northern Italy.
She's here.
Oh, she is here. Wow. Came a long way.
So quickly.
Last April, she visited Sunny Isles Beach and immediately appreciated the stunning architecture. She enjoyed spending relaxing moments with her daughter at the playground, and she says her winning photo summarizes the beauty of Sunny Isles Beach, modern buildings harmonized with nature. July is by Alex Vinokur. Alex is a retired civil engineer who has participated in our photo contest for the past 11 years. His vibrant photos never fail to showcase the natural beauty of our city. August is Michael Mendelson. Michael is an experienced real estate property photographer who specializes in capturing residential and commercial properties. His winning image features a stunning skyline view of Sunny Isles Beach that is an ideal visual representation of our city's luxurious high-rises and peaceful waterfront. September is by Moses Ban. Moses is a Sunny Isles Beach resident and professional photographer who owns his own photography business. His winning photo is a vibrant and colorful image of Sunny Isles Beach architecture.
Was that good timing?
October is Elena Gagliardi. Elena moved from Russia to the United States 16 years ago. After spending 12 years in New York, she made the move to Miami. An avid traveler, she enjoys capturing the magic of sunrises and sunsets. November is by Jacinto G. Hernandez. Jacinto is a South Florida native with over 40 years of photography experience. He specializes in weddings, portraits, recording artists, and fashion. He enjoys visiting the pier in the morning to see what each day's sunrise will inspire him to capture. December is by Leonardo Escobar. Photography is Leonardo's passion and his way of transforming the ordinary into extraordinary. He finds magic in the twilight over Sunny Isles Beach, where the city's architecture meets the vibrant colors of the sky. Our photography page is Jimmy Baikovicius. Born in Uruguay, Jimmy moved to the US at age 20 to study engineering. While at the University of Minnesota, he took a black and white analog photography workshop that fueled his interest. Today, his portfolio comprises more than 26,000 photographs, which have exceeded 26 million views online. And his photos have been featured in various media such as books, films, museums, Wikipedia, and more. Our Connect With Us page is by Nadezhda Barkolenko, which I don't think is here. He's here. And our last page is by Carol Perez. And that's everybody?
That's everybody? All
Yep.
right, let's go down for a picture.
You can all come down for a photograph. And we have calendars in the back of commission chambers. You have some in your bags too to take home.
Stand, I think, because they won't be able to.
The tallest person in the back. It's because this is in the way. You guys can move commissioners this way, right there. You can come. And then. Don't hide, guys. All right, right here. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Now one more for good luck. 3, 2, 1. Don't move, don't move.
Here we go, same thing. 3, 2, 1. Last one. 3, 2. Say it again. I ain't bring the dome. I forgot it.
You need the dome?
Oh, okay.
Look at that.
Thank you.
You're with a bunch of photographers.
Oh, yeah.
One more. Hold on, we gotta do a retake.
How many months?
Squeeze in a little more. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so alert.
All right, everyone over here. 3, 2, 1.
Very lucky. I see her here and she looked at me and she was looking. She likes the shirt. Black and white.
Wait.
Hold on. Thank you. Here we go, same thing. 3, 2, 1. Good, last one. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
No sabemos. Pero tú eres el uruguayo. Okay, no, when they were saying I saw you was but who was the one that lived 20 years? They were saying. Well, I'm Canadian. For the last 50 years. But I was not. And that's why when they say, I saw that I ended up here. I hear it.
We're going to have a presentation of our new canine if anyone wanted to stay and see it. Okay, Mauricio?
The next item, we're going back to 2A, introduction of the police explosive detection dog.
Good afternoon, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, Mr. Manager. Today, we gather to honor an exceptional partnership within our police department. Canine Officer Gabriel Martinez and his remarkable canine partner, Nitro. This duel exemplifies the courage, dedication, and skill that define the very best of law enforcement. Officer Martinez joined our department just 2.5 years ago, but in that short time, he has already made a profound impact. A little over 1.5 years ago, he took the challenge of joining our K-9 unit, a role that demands unwavering commitment and extraordinary level of expertise. The journey of becoming a K-9 handler is no easy feat. Officer Martinez completed an intensive 12-week, 480-hour patrol school, and this is why we're here tonight. He just completed an 8-week, 324-hour explosive detection course, equipping him with the specialized knowledge and skills to handle Nitro in critical situations. Together, they have trained relentlessly to be prepared for any scenario, ensuring the safety and security of our community. Nitro is a highly skilled canine, is trained in apprehension, tracking, articles searches, and explosive detection. This dynamic duel has already proven their capabilities in the field with 2 real-time apprehensions using Nitro's impressive tracking abilities. These successes are a testament not only to Nitro's training, but also to the trust and bond he shares with Officer Martinez. The work they do goes far beyond apprehension and searches. Together, they bring a sense of security to our city, demonstrating that every effort is made to protect and serve our residents. The hours of training, the sacrifices, and the readiness to face any danger are all part of what makes Officer Martinez and K9 Nitro a vital asset to our team. Gabriel, your dedication to your role and your partnership with Nitro inspires all of us. You represent the values of professionalism, perseverance, the excellence that we strive for as a department. Nitro, you remind us of the incredible capabilities of our K9 partners and the bond that makes them more than just officers. They are family. Please join me in recognizing K9 Officer Gabriel Martinez and Nitro for their outstanding contributions to the Sunny Isles Beach Police Department and our community. Thank you both for your service, your commitment, and your courage. So I would like to invite pictures, but I strongly suggest do not touch the dog.
Do you want us to stay up here? It's up to you.
You can stand behind the podium if you want, and he can stand in front.
Yeah, let's do that. After that warning.
Thank you very much, and I want to thank each and every one of you for your continued support, and we couldn't be here without every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stay safe.
Where's he?
Next item is 2C, a proclamation for Kristallnacht Week.
Kristallnacht. So this is my proclamation. I actually wasn't really planning to do this, but in light of what happened in Amsterdam a few weeks ago, I decided that this is important. As a reminder, on the night of November 9th through 10th, it was 48 hours. In 1938, Nazi Germany orchestrated a nationwide campaign of terror against Jewish communities known as Kristallnacht, or the Night of Broken Glass. This pogrom was marked by widespread violence, including the destruction of synagogues, Jewish homes, and businesses. Kristallnacht signaled the intensification of state-sponsored anti-Semitic policies and the transition from discrimination to outright persecution, which would culminate in the Holocaust. This event remains a somber reminder of the consequences of unchecked hatred, bigotry, and complicity. And just for those that don't know, this was a period of 48 hours. Over 1,000 synagogues were either burned or damaged. 91 Jewish people were killed, and 30,000 Jewish males were arrested. I'd like to read the proclamation. Whereas on the night of November 9th through 10th, 1938, the German Nazi regime unleashed a nationwide pogrom against Jewish people, resulting in scores of deaths, hundreds of injuries, and the destruction of synagogues, shops, and homes. And whereas the shattered windows left strewn across the streets gave this atrocity its haunting name, Kristallnacht, or the Night of Broken Glass, marking a grim turning point in history and a forewarning of the Holocaust to come. And whereas the world largely ignored mounting warning signs of rising anti-Semitism, disregard for human rights, and unigenically motivated hatred, culminating in this heinous act, which should have sounded an urgent alarm to humanity. And whereas this pogrom foreshadowed the unprecedented atrocities of World War II and the Holocaust, which claimed the lives of millions, challenging the world to confront the depths of human cruelty and its catastrophic consequences. And whereas the city of Sunny Isles Beach wishes to commemorate those who perished in the Holocaust, ensuring that their memory remains a living testament to the dangers of hate and enduring strength of the human spirit. And whereas the Week of Remembrance of Kristallnacht provides an opportunity for education, reflection, and action, ensuring that the lessons of history are neither forgotten nor repeated. Whereas the city dedicates this week to honoring the memory of those who suffered and perished, to standing in solidarity with survivors and their descendants, and to fostering an enduring culture of respect, inclusion, and justice. Now, therefore, do I, Larissa Svetchin, as mayor, and on behalf of the City Commission of the City of Sunny Isles Beach, hereby designate November 4th through 10th, 2024, as Kristallnacht Remembrance Week in the City of Sunny Isles Beach. And again, later on this evening, I'm going to be presenting a resolution that's going to be tied to this. The sad irony is that the whole point of this remembrance is so that you don't forget that these sort of things can happen. And what's terrible is that something very similar happened on the actual anniversary of Kristallnacht in Amsterdam. So I'm very happy that my colleagues are allowing me to present this proclamation. Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is 3A, a discussion items. And this one is an introduction to newly elected school member Joe Geller and a discussion on ways to improve relations with the Miami-Dade County School Board and/or the Sunny Isles Beach K-8 school. Commissioner Viscara.
Thank you. I'd like to invite Mr. Joe Geller to speak, but before you do that, I just wanted to thank you and congratulate you on your new position. And in the past, I just thought this was an opportunity to start anew. I'd like for this commission to have a healthy line of communication with you, an open line of communication with you. And I have some concerns I'd like to share, and I'm happy to kick things off after you share with us, whatever you have to share with us. Fair? All right. Welcome.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone today? Very happy to be here with you. Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners, I know you all very well. Mr. Manager, Mr. Attorney, Madam Deputy Manager, Mr. Clerk, and all the citizens that are here today, and anybody that is watching. Are they televised?
Yes.
Great. Well, hi, everybody. I'm Joe Geller. I got sworn in as the new school board member for this district Tuesday and had my first meeting yesterday. So, all a little new. But I'm certainly no stranger to this community or to these chambers. I was here a number of times during the 8 years that I represented Sunny Isles Beach in the state legislature and had the opportunity on several occasions to speak to some of you were here and some of your predecessors and keep you up to date on what was going on there. And I'm glad to be back representing Sunny Isles Beach in any capacity because I love this city. It's a great city, and you guys are really doing wonderful things here with this city. So congratulations to all of you. With me today is my brand new school board aide, Christian Molina, and my dear old friend, who I'm going to, in just a moment, ask to come up and stand with me. She has a very simple name. This is Tabitha Fazzino, who I've known for more years than I can really count that high, frankly. And she has this tremendously impressive title that I won't get right. But she is in charge of intergovernmental affairs, which includes you guys, and family and community engagement. It's a long title. But that means that she's here on behalf of the school system itself to work with this community, to work with all of our communities, and to make sure that your desires, your wants, your wish list as elected officials, insofar as we have the funds to do it, to make sure that those things are implemented. And my job is to work with the superintendent of schools, Dr. Dotris, and to make sure that as board members, we communicate to him what the public is asking for, what the public wants to see, and to urge him to have his very impressive staff, including Ms. Fazzino, to accomplish those things and carry them out. So a couple of very quick points as I just went through a swearing in on Tuesday. It's still fresh in my mind. But what's important is that we do what we can to help students, to do what we can to help parents, and to protect our teachers and support staff. The number one, and I know it's a concern here, as it is everywhere, the number one concern is safety and making sure that when parents bring their kids to school and turn them over to us, that we're keeping them safe and making sure that at the end of the day, they can go safely back to their parents. And for that matter, we have teachers whose lives are entrusted to us. We have all manner of support staff, from bus drivers to cafeteria workers to maintenance people, and they're in our care every day too, and we need to take care of them and all of the parents that come. Very important to me as a parent of a 12th grader who, we don't know yet where she's going next year, but we're working on that. But the rights of parents are important to me, but I want to quote my wife and just make the point that parents' rights are very important. So other parents have rights. As parents, we have rights. But their rights end where our rights begin, and we just don't think one parent should tell a whole class of parents what they can or can't do. They can speak for and on behalf of their children, and I expect and hope they all will, just like I try to speak up on behalf of my daughter, and my wife does the same thing. And then we're interested in making sure that all of our kids get a world-class education, that they're equipped to compete in these rapidly changing technological times, that they come out of school with something useful, whether they're college-bound, whether they need instruction or want instruction in some kind of a business or a trade or something that they're going to look to support themselves. There's a whole range of options. We have all kinds of kids. And I did add yesterday that one of my personal passions is going to be ESE, Exceptional Student Education. This is something that we really need to prioritize. So before I open it for questions, I do want to ask my colleague, Ms. Fazzino, to come up. She is in charge of presenting the school district's legislative proposals to the legislature in Tallahassee, my erstwhile colleagues. And I want her to take a few moments and run briefly through with you, and I'll pass these around, run briefly through with you what that program consists of. I know from things like the League of Cities and other activities that your commission is involved with, that you have the ear of some of our legislators from different positions, different houses, different parties. We need your help. This is for the good of all of our students. I ran on a platform of trying to get politics out of our school system. And it's not the place for it. All of us, that serve an elective office, you have to get elected, and I understand that. But the fact of the matter is, when it comes to our kids, these issues shouldn't be partisan. I want to see all our kids are protected. They're all given a safe and healthy learning environment where they feel welcome. But we're here to try and see if we can reduce partisanship and just work together for the benefit of our kids. So I'm going to pass this around to the commission and the manager, and I'll ask Ms. Fazzino to start.
Thank you, Board Member Geller. Good afternoon, and thank you for the opportunity to be up here before you. My name is Tabitha Fazzino. Many of you I know, and I am the Chief Intergovernmental Affairs Officer for Miami-Dade County Public Schools. Thank you, Mayor, members of the Commission, Mr. Manager, Madam Deputy Manager. Miami-Dade County Public Schools has a long history with Sunny Isles, and on behalf of the board and the superintendent, we very much want to ensure that we maintain open lines of communication and that we are really partners in delivering the finest education available to the children of this community. With that, as Board Member Geller indicated, each year our school board adopts a state legislative program, which has been shared with you there. And we will go to Tallahassee and advocate on behalf of our community to bring additional resources home, specifically around increasing the K-12 funding pie overall, and then more specifically, addressing the inadequacy of funding for high-cost communities like Miami-Dade. Additionally, we will be advocating for increased funding for school safety, mental health, ESE, additional supports for recruitment and retention of our teachers, as well as going back and asking for some additional deregulation to really streamline the operations of the district so we can be more efficient with those dollars. As many of you know, and you've heard our board echo, in Miami-Dade, the dollars go to the classroom. Fully 99.5% of the funding that we receive actually goes to students or student services directly. We have one of the lowest cost central administrations in the state, and we're very proud of that. As it relates specifically to this community, you've always been a partner, and our Sunny Isles K-8, I'm proud to say, has been an A school since its inception. More recently this year, we've had great communication with your management team. A number of issues have been brought forward that we believe we have addressed and we're continuing to work to address. And I really want to appreciate the opportunity that Manager Morris and Deputy Manager Simpson have provided for us to work through these issues. I'm very proud to say we were able to deliver on the request for a full-time nurse at the school. And other improvements to the facility that we've been able to move forward, and we're going to continue to work with the city. With that, thank you for your time. Should the board wish to endorse our board's legislative program, we would certainly appreciate that. And again, I echo what Board Member Geller said. As you speak to your colleagues, your elected colleagues that represent our community in Tallahassee, advocating on behalf of our students would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Viscar, did you want to start a
With that
discussion?
said, we'd like to invite any comments from you all.
I got this, Joe.
I'll start.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, I really appreciate this legislative program. I've never received this in advance or in any form, and I already feel more informed. So I appreciate that. I'll review it, and I look forward to speaking to you in more detail about that. So I will, first of all, this commission has the whole spectrum. So we have from kindergarten through 12th grade. So we're all experiencing the public schools in a different intensity, I think. The one thing I wanted to bring to your attention where I think we could use some help, I don't know where the jurisdictional lines end or begin. I'll leave that to you to figure out. But we have, it may sound silly, but we really have a big problem with scooters in this city. And a lot of it is going to and from the schools. And our pedestrians and our elderly are learning not to walk around in the morning when kids are on their way, or in the afternoon when the kids are going home, because it's the wild, wild west. And in the past, we had requested cooperation from the school that they not, because we have a registration program that allows us to then have an enforcement program. Without the registration, the enforcement is very limited. So we had asked the school to cooperate with us and assist us by not allowing unregistered scooters, or to let us in some way where we could work the scooter issue. The children are not the only problem, but it's a big thing because we are giving them motorized vehicles. They don't understand the rules of the road. We've provided education, but not everybody attends. We can't make it mandatory. Enforcement is tough, and people are getting hit. The kids don't always know to stop. I mean, it's just a whole thing. But if we could, I feel like that's a simple, at least in my eyes, a simple thing where we could start. If we could get the school to cooperate with us, however the police department decides whatever is best, whether it's not allowing them in or allowing us to register there, whatever it is. If we could open that door and accomplish something to improve the safety for everybody, the kids riding, the pedestrians on the sidewalks in the mornings and in the afternoons, I would greatly appreciate that.
Sounds kind of like family and community engagement to me. Anything on that, Ms. Fazzino?
Sure. Absolutely, Commissioner. This is the first I've heard of that particular scooter issue. I know there was a concern about scooter parking, and we've addressed that. So this is new information to me, but it does sound like a reasonable request. I'll be happy to work with the school in our region and your police department, and I'm sure that we can come to a solution that makes sense for the students and certainly makes sense for the safety of the community. So we'll look into that, and we will get back to you.
I would greatly appreciate it. That's my whole list.
Thank you. Okay. Vice Mayor, did you have a list?
No, I mean, thank you very much for coming here. I do appreciate the legislative priorities. I will definitely take a good look at them. And, yeah, I mean, scooters is, I think, when it comes to students, the peak hours of, school, going in and coming out, the students. So, yeah, we get a lot of calls, a lot of complaints, and actually we have some residents that have been injured. Thank God it's, been limited to injuries and it hasn't gone any further than that. But yeah, we need to see how we could work with the school in trying to mitigate some of these issues. So I would say that is the top priority right now that comes to mind. And yeah, I mean, that's about it. And again, thank you very much.
And as far as your comment on the legislative priorities, let me say, I used to be kind of one of the first stops that Tabitha would make when she came to Tallahassee to go through this. Everybody on the dais has their own different and independent contacts with members of our legislature. And whoever it is that your contacts are with, we want your feedback on the legislative program that we've given you. You can contact Ms. Fazzino, who actually has a card that's in there, or you can contact me directly, and I'm happy to talk with you and pass it along, and I'll make sure they get it. So if you see something that you feel strongly about and want to know what we can do more, let us know. If you see something there that you think you're not in love with and you'd want to see if there's some backup or some explanation, or you want to offer some comment or criticism, please don't hesitate to give us that. And other than that, just be armed with this, like when you go to Tallahassee for whether it's League of Cities or Dade Days or whatever you might go up for.
Thank you.
Commissioner Joseph, do you have a list?
Ladies first.
Okay, congratulations. You said that one of your purposes right now in this term is to take politics out of the schools, okay? So I'm gonna give you my personal feedback about that, okay?
Please.
You have an organization, which is the PTA, that is forcing the parents to fund that organization, which has zero oversight and zero accountability. That organization is a membership organization that is a purpose is to advocate and to change legislation to the county, state, and federal level. So I'm going to give you a few examples of my parents that they are sending it to me actually right now as we speak. So for example, tomorrow there is going to be a school dance, a fall dance. The kids are obligated, mandated, forced to pay $5 to participate in a public school. So the children that don't have those $5 or they forgot, they won't be participating in the dance. So I hope.
And what event is it?
It's a dance. It's a fall dance, yes, during school hours. Because I understand if it's after school, that's another ball game, okay? But during school hours, the child that doesn't have the $5 is going to stay in the classroom, while the other kids are going to be participating in the dance. Again, in a public school. So they're forced to give this money to that organization. Second.
I'm going to stop you with number one for just a moment.
I'm sorry?
I'm going to stop you to
please.
to comment on number one. It's the first, obviously, that I've heard of it, and I don't even know how our budgets work yet. But one thing I'm going to do, and I'm going to ask my staff that's here and the district staff that's here today, it's my understanding that there are some discretionary funds that we have that we can expend, and if there's something we can do that we can provide some funds to help cover kids whose parents find that a hardship, I don't know that we can get it done in time for tomorrow, but, you know, to make sure that that never happens again. If
Okay.
there's something we can do, or my office can do, to help those kids not feel excluded, it sounds heartbreaking to me, so.
It is, and it's not only the dance. That is tomorrow, so you can go tomorrow to the school and experience yourself the situation. Also, to participate in many other events, like for example, Crazy Hair Day, or Color Day, or Jeans Day, they are forced to pay. So since kindergarten, the kids are, it's some kind of discrimination that if you don't have the money, or you forget about the money, then you cannot participate. Again, they are forced. Also, to participate in the field trips, they are forced to pay $15, again, to the PTSA, the organization that you guys have zero accountability and zero oversight. The parent has to pay $15 other than the cost of the whatever that they need for the field trip in order to participate. So it's mandatory to have a shirt from that organization, okay? So also, parents are no longer allowed to participate in the lunch program that we used to have. What is that? We, the parents, used to be volunteers during the lunch hours to be there for the kindergarten, first grade, second grade, to open, you know, the yogurt, the juices, etc. So now, parents are no longer allowed to participate. All volunteering goes through who? The PTSA again. So they decide who can be inside our schools, not you guys, okay? So you are giving that power to this, again, corrupt organization. So what else can I have here? Obligated to buy the school shirts, obligated to buy for the, to pay to them to the field trips. Oh, also, they are obligated, the parents, to buy instructional material through the PTSA. So if one thing I can ask you, the one thing, okay, other than safety, clearly, which is always going to be our priority, and you were here right now when you see our new K9, so we take that very serious, okay? So other than safety, anything that you can do, and I'm going to do the same whenever I have the chance to influence Tallahassee and the county to finally have oversight over, and this is my personal opinion, okay, not of the diocese of the city, through a corrupt organization which has zero oversight and accountability. I would really appreciate you doing that during your term. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Joseph?
You weren't clear regarding what organization it was.
I'm not clear about which organization.
Well,
I
let's
think
say,
it's
let's
very
say it
clear.
the way it is.
Parent Teacher Student Association.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, in my regard, I would like to speak to us and how you would deal with certain teachers that their grading is not done on a fair basis, where we have an experience not with our K through 8, but another school under your guidance, which is iPrep North. So we've had personal experience with teachers that they, in their grading system, they give benefits to certain students as far as bumping up grades and not to others. Is there a protocol regarding that, or that we could come to you with certain circumstances to be looked at?
Academic matters are things that are committed to the administration. And typically, even though I'm new, I know that board members are not, well, I'm going to use the word allowed, it's possibly a bit too strong, to get involved in individual matters involving grading. Now, if there is a systemic problem, if there is some policy that is being unfairly implemented or misapplied, that's a different story. I can look into that. I'd certainly be interested in getting specifics, but like I said, if one teacher is not being fair, if there, those notions
Yes.
of what is and isn't fair tend to be in the eye of the beholder, But if there's a problem, well, there's a process.
I'm not speaking regarding just one student. It's
I
a
understand.
group of students that are being,
As
their
I said,
grades
if
are
there's
raised.
a systemic problem, even if it's with one teacher, but it's not a one teacher, one student thing,
Yes.
then what I can do is look into what the policy is that governs that. And if I think the policy needs augmentation, we can certainly talk to the administration and through the superintendent to the academic officials to see what could be done to have a better and fairer policy to make sure that no particular group of students is being unfairly disadvantaged. Keep in mind the teachers have certain academic freedom when it comes to their assignment of grades as well, and the system is overall, it's a good system to prevent favoritism, but if it's got some weakness in that system that we need to shore up, we can certainly look at the policy and see where it could benefit, and we can discuss that
Right.
with you.
Now, logically thinking, I assumed that the principal would be the overseer, but that happened not to be the case.
Principals don't operate in a vacuum. There's an entire district staff, there's a region staff, there's various levels. Principals are an important part of it, but they're not the only part. And, we will certainly look into that as we move forward.
Thank you. So once you get settled in, we do have an issue to speak to you regarding a family matter.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Congratulations. Thank you, Tabitha, for coming. I know it's not easy during this time of the day or any time of the day from all the way down south. For me, I have one child left in the school, and I've got others in high school and one in college now. I love our school, and I feel that our relationship with the district and your predecessor has been, good. Sometimes not great, but it's in a good place now. The question that I have that I would like for you to consider, and I recognize that this is not something that you can consider just for the city of Sunny Isles Beach, and this is why it's a very big issue that I hope that you all may one day tackle. It's transportation to magnet programs. This is a big ask, and as a city, we can't possibly handle it because, as you can imagine, we have a lot of students that have a lot of interests, and I think the district won a magnet superintendent of the year for the entire country. Is that correct? So there's a lot of programs, which is great, but now we have a lot of kids that and parents that are really suffering. And I can tell you from me personally, when my son was going to SAS at Wolfson, I spent a fortune on Ubers. So it's something for you to please consider and potentially, put on an agenda item. And I know that we will definitely have a lot of parents that would come out to support it.
Well, that's a really important issue, Mayor. And let me say that particularly these days, where our public schools are competing daily to keep students in the public schools. I'm a big believer in public education, but the reality today is that means you're in competition. And we need to view that competition as one that we intend to win to keep public schools strong and vital. We have not just the one particular accolade you mentioned, but according to a lot of people, we have the #1 magnet school program in the country.
Right.
Here in Miami-Dade. That's great, but as you point out, that's a great thing if the students can get there. Now, the first thought that comes to mind is in some ways a little scary. We've had a lot, when I was in the legislature, we spent a lot of time talking about ride-share programs and whether those ride-share programs would have to have a certain level of background checks, which typically, frankly, they're not very strong at. not trying to point fingers at them, but if you've got a 15-year-old, a ninth grader, you know, putting them in a car, even if there was some way, even if the district was able to do some contract en masse with some rideshare program at some super discount to help our kids, even if we could do that, how many of us would feel comfortable putting our 15-year-old in a car with a stranger that hadn't had a level 2 background check? So there's an old saying that complex problems, by definition, do not have simple solutions, because if they did, they'd be simple problems.
Well, I just want you to consider perhaps not a district-wide, but perhaps school by school, because as an example, School for Advanced Studies, the North Campus does have a bus. So I don't mean to get into a huge discussion
but it's
here,
a great point. I'm gonna, I think Ms. Fazzino has some comments on it, so let's hear it.
Yes, absolutely. We're aware that is an issue. And one of the priorities of our board is ensuring that we have maximum access to our fabulous programs countywide. And as we all know, traffic in Miami-Dade is what traffic is Miami-Dade. And unfortunately, transportation funding that we get from Tallahassee never quite covers it. That being said, we have been working with our transportation department, doing a number of things, creating hubs where students who are participating in magnet programs can get to a transportation hub, and then we can get them, work to get them to their program. In addition, we did have an item on our school board agenda last month around exactly this issue, directing us to explore additional partnerships with the county for either discounted or potentially free student passes for public transportation, and that would include the Metro Rail, Tri-Rail, and buses. So we're actually have a meeting on the calendar with the county coming up around those discussions. And again, and if there are any specific issues, specific student issues, you can always reach out either through the region or call my office, and we can work with our transportation department and see if there's a route that we can get a student on. Because to Board Member Geller's point, we recognize that today education is a choice, and where you place your student is a choice. And so we as a district want to do everything that we can to help accommodate parents when that choice is one of our schools, because we believe Miami-Dade Schools is your best choice. I'll get brownie points from my communications officer for saying that. But honestly, and so it is a very valid point. Thank you for bringing it up. And again, like I said, part of our legislative program, increasing those transportation FTE dollars certainly helps go a long way.
I just want to add that that's all true, but the reality is it's just an example of how sometimes essential workers in our society are not recognized. We found out during the pandemic that there were people who were taken for granted, and we can't live without them. And this just points up to me how little attention and credit our devoted school bus drivers are, who know what to do, who are handling little fights among the kids, who are making sure that they're getting the kids there safe. And, you know, I agree with what my colleague said, but at the end of the day, who are you comfortable putting your 15-year-old in the care of? You know, a ride share person, somebody that's, you know, is a Metro Rail operator. I don't know. That's scary. So we need to talk more about this, because it is a difficult thing. It's not just the mechanics of getting them there. Who do you trust your 15-year-old with? So let's keep talking about it.
Thank you. You had
Yes,
question?
so bringing up regarding the ride shares and all, and the, you know, checking out of doing background checks and all, we have in Sunny Isles, we have the possibility of a half a block from our school in the not-too-distant future, 2 rental buildings going up behind our Publix, which would lead to further traffic. As you were saying, rental properties having unknown renters that would require background checks, being so close to our school and all. So that's a discussion I would like to have with you in the future of how maybe we can throttle that back somehow.
Thank you. Commissioner Viscar, did you want to say some closing words with your item?
I just want to thank you again for braving our school traffic. So you got a little taste of what we're talking about. And congratulations again. I really look forward to working with you and hopefully making a positive difference with
The
you.
most important thing from our side is we want to keep this communication going. Reach out to me anytime. I'm happy to come back when invited. And, if there's something important, we'll try and get that news to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
for
Before
your
we
time
adjourn,
today.
we'll take a picture
Sure.
together. Okay, meeting adjourned. See everyone at 6:30.